a lot of times we take our assets in our community for granted, and we just sort of assume that, well, they're there, they're going to be used, and they're going to be good assets, and they're going to contribute to our quality of life. And you sort of take it for granted, and the reason you can take it for granted is that you have really good staff, people that work on having innovative ideas and new programs. And we've actually had well, you were on council, we had that last renovation. We've done one renovation since this building was first built. So I really think the reason that we have such a great facility here is because of the people that work behind the scenes to keep it a great facility. So first of all, I just really want to say thank you. I'm going to read this proclamation, but I got to put my 2 cents in because Mark brought up some really important points, and I remember being here 20 years ago with my 21-year-old son, who's now in the Navy, on my hip. I was stood up over in that berm because I had him and a 2-year-old, and I didn't want any interference with such a special day. But I was really involved with fundraising for this, and the reason that I was is because on the front page of the Saline Reporter, there was an article that said $1 million challenge grant. If the city gets this, gets $1 million in 6 months worth of pledges, this community could have a rec center. And I had moved here a couple years before, and I recognized that this is a really, really important part of a quality community, and I wanted to live in a quality community. So when I saw that article in the paper, Gary Hahn happened to live across the street, and it was very coincidental. He came by with a petition to run for re-election, and next thing you know, Mark and Gary are taking me out to lunch, and I helped with the fundraising for it. And it was really my first opportunity to volunteer in this community, and what I learned from that experience was really incredible, that this community is all about volunteers, and that's why we have a really high quality community. That's why we've gotten ranked, top 100 small city. It's a pretty amazing thing for a community our size. Not only have we gotten it 1 time, we've gotten it 3 times. And it's because of all the people that are here and all the work that you do. So I really wanted to say thank you. It's very meaningful to me. Obviously, I have a very emotional tie to this, as Pat and Mark do, because we spent a lot of time working on this project. But we had hundreds of volunteers. We did a week-long phone-a-thon where we called people all over the community, got pledges. It was a really, really big deal, and it was like Mark said, probably one of the first initiatives for a really big project. The school project, that was a really big project that came later. But this was sort of, I think, a good feeder for that. So I just really wanted to say how much it really means to me to be here and having the opportunity to celebrate 20 years, and you have to come up here. I wanted to read this proclamation. Oops, that's not. This is Alicia's proclamation. Or the county's proclamation, excuse me. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to read this proclamation, the Saline Rec Center 20-year anniversary. Whereas the Saline Recreation Center opened its doors on June 19, 1991, and this year will celebrate its 20th anniversary. And whereas the Saline City Council had the insight to create a needed community recreation facility, and the Reddy's Foundation was very generous in offering the city a $1 million commitment, along with many donors who made the recreation center a reality. And whereas the recreation center, a 41,000 square foot facility with 2 pools, a hot tub, gym, and by the way, there was, as part of the phone-a-thon, a 4th pool, which we will put in someday, which is going to be outside. And I still think it will come to fruition someday. So when you said 3 pools, I was like, oh, you're talking about the one that we're still going to build someday.
And we were going to call that pool the Hubert B.
That's good. Well, someday I think it will happen. I still hear people requesting that. Free weight room, racquetball court, aerobic studio, and meeting rooms brought a whole new world of recreational opportunities to the community. And whereas in 2006 the recreation center was renovated by adding a Nautilus weight room, family locker room, cabana party room, along with many interior upgrades and operational improvements. And whereas the rec center provides recreational classes for all ages and abilities, promotes social health and well-being, and hosts many community events such as Spring Fest, movies in the park, Halloween Hullabaloo, daddy-daughter dances, and health fairs. And whereas the Parks and Recreation Department collaborates with downtown festivals and events, partners with other Saline organizations such as 212 Art Center, Saline District Library, Saline Community Ed, Kiwanis Club, and Rotary Club. And whereas the Recreation Center has employed hundreds and maybe even thousands of people of all ages and backgrounds, front desk staff, building supervisors, lifeguards, maintenance, kids corner, some staff who we have here today, camp counselors, swim instructors, fitness instructors, sports coaches, league supervisors, program coordinators, and junior counselors, all of whom over the years have contributed to make the experience for our community and customers the best. Whereas in celebration of the 20-year anniversary of the Saline Rec Center, we'll host special days and events. June 17th, movie in the park with a kids zone and sandcastle building. June 18th, pool party luau with a live mermaid. Hope you guys all got to see that. And June 19th, open house with a ribbon cutting ceremony and cake reception. Now, therefore, I, Gretchen Driskell, Mayor of the City of Saline, on behalf of the Saline City Council and the citizens of Saline, hereby congratulate the Saline Rec Center on its 20th anniversary and thank all the contributors who helped make this recreation facility a reality. I also extend a special thank you to all the employees, past and present, who have enthusiastically promoted the Recreation Center, giving their time and energy to ensure that our program patrons have an enjoyable experience. So, as this enumerates again, this is a really special day, and we look forward to a long history of happy recreation. It's a very needed resource in our community. I know you all know these winters are very, very long here, and it's a really great place to come and play with your family. And I didn't get a chance to say thank you. Pat Little was actually mayor when the facility opened, correct? And that was a pretty big, I mean, taking on a facility this size is a pretty big project for something that's never been really done, like you said before. And it was quite a challenging project, you know, trying to figure out how to do this. So I just wanted to also thank Mayor Pat Little for his work in bringing this project to fruition. So here you go. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.